Welcome back everybody to the Rubbings Racing channel. This is round 2 of Rubbings Racing's Touring Car Championship. It's very tight here at the top of the standings currently after one round here of Season 1 2020 here. Thank you for your comments. Welcome GRT Jack. Welcome Oliver Marseille. Ollie Mar here in the chat. Good to see him getting a break from his school life here to pop up and say hello to us. We actually saw Ollie representing Rubbings Racing the other night at the Autosport show, doing a few laps on their simulator, and actually finished in the top 10 on their competition. So hats off to Ollie. I saw his Instagram post there representing Rubbings Racing. Good to see you, Ollie, here tonight. Currently provisional pole position here for tonight's touring car race is Demoby. Demoby had an excellent opening round at Alton Park last week. He actually took the sprint race after a great battle with Smithy in that one, and he's a German driver from Bavaria. It seems to be very strong in these front wheel drive cars. He's actually quick all round, and we saw on Sunday he should have really won that feature race in the GT3. He's got very unlucky on the final lap of the race. His wheel disconnected, which gifted the win to Edwin in that one. It's great to see everybody on the stream and commenting here. So let's see what's going on down in the down the standings. We've got Smithy currently in P2. Smithy seems to be on his final run of the session. He's got the console right behind him on the track as well. Can the console benefit possibly from a little bit of slipstream here coming down towards the hairpin? Oh, bit of a lock up there from Smithy. Just about held it together, but that's not going to help him at all. Demoby extends his advantage at the top of the standings. He's gone 4/10 quicker than anybody else currently in this session. Can anyone stake a claim to pole position here for round 2 of Rubbings Racing Touring Car Championship here at Hockenheim? I'd just like to say to all the guys on the stream, if you haven't already, hit that sub, like and bell button. Be sure to go to www.rubbingsracing.co.uk, pop a penny in the petty cash jar. Feel free to donate. It's always there for anyone who wants to have a look, and go to our Discord. Click the link on www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. Sign up, register as a driver, become a part of this authentic sim racing experience that we offer here on the PlayStation 4 platform. We're going to ride on board with Smithy here on his final run of the session. Let's see if he can upset the odds and beat Demoby here in the final knock-in series. Going to come into the last couple of corners now. Let's see if he's tidy. We know he might have that bit of a lock-up going through the hairpin, so that would not have helped him at all. Here's Smithy out of the last corner, currently P2. Is it going to be enough? It's not enough. Can the console do anything about it? He can't. What about Grandad Steve? Grandad Steve's out there on a lap still somewhere. He looks like he's coming in towards... No, I think he's done. I think that's it. I think that's his session over. Lecky, where's Lecky? Lecky's coming out of the final corner now. Currently P5. What could Lecky do here? Over the line. And it's an improvement, but it's not enough for pole position. Who's this in the background? It looks like it might be Kembo. And Kembo can't improve his time. So it is Demoby who will be starting this race on pole position here this evening for round 2 of Rubbings Racing's Touring Car Championship. Smithy's going to line up alongside him on the front row. Then we've got Grandad Stee in the console lining up on row 2. Lecky and Lionsfoot 5th and 6th. Kenbo, Dakatadu won a fantastic feature race, mastered the changeable conditions, pitted at just the right time and managed to win that one. And thankfully his flag is not showing him as Spanish this week, so that was a bit of a mare from Project Cars 2, but it seems to be all sorted for the time being. So guys, what a lap there from Demoby. Actually class of the field in qualifying, 4/10 of a second separated him and Smithy. So that is quite a margin for Smithy to make up, but I'm sure he's capable of doing so. We've got 10 cars on the field here, and bear in mind guys, these are 10 of the best touring car drivers you will ever find on Project Cars 2. The best the PlayStation 4 platform has got to offer, in my personal opinion. Demoby heads it up, Smithy alongside him, Grandad Stee there. Couldn't really get a lap in at the end there. I think he might have crossed the line a little bit too late. The console, we know he's a bit of a specialist in feature races. The sprint races haven't been so kind to him so far, but let's hope he can get that sorted out in this one. Lecky, the lead coordinator, head of the Rubbings Racing's Touring Car Championship, lines up in 5th position. Then we've got Lionsfoot, a Welsh driver from Swansea, alongside him. Kenbo, our American driver, American moderator, commentator, is in 7th. We've got that guitar dude, Bobby Dazzler. Shocking to see him so far back in the grid. I'm sure we'll be seeing him picking his way through as the race gets underway. And Tuggy Bear, one of our Marshall team, So lining up in 10th position. So we're about to go racing here, I think, for our sprint race here for RubbingsRacing's Touring Car Championship. Thank you ever so much, guys, for your comments. Ollie Marr says console for the win. JR says Demobi's looking quick. And let's see what Zoopy's saying. Good luck to everybody. Big Al says go the console. Well, let's see if he can get it done today. We're about to go racing for our feature race, and we are underway. Looks like a good start from pole position there from Demobi. Got away very nicely. Looks like the Smithy's going to have to go a little bit defensive here, because Grandad Steve got an absolutely fantastic bite off the line through turn one. Let's hope all these guys are keeping it clean. It looks to be pretty good so far. Demobi leads the pack. He's got quite a little gap at the moment. Smithy's defended from Grandad Steve, and it looks like Lecky's looking to the inside here. He's already made it up to P4. Can he get past Grandad Steve? Looks like he's going to back out of that one. He had a look, thought better of it, but Grandad Steve's gone very, very wide onto the curb, and that's going to allow Lecky through. Lecky is up into P3. Fantastic start there from Lecky. He's getting 2 positions straight off the start, and the console's going to follow him through. These guys are going to slingshot here, coming down this long straight towards the hairpin, but you can see the console is going to lose out on the slipstream here. The Grandad Steve's going to have the battle of the slipstream. It looks like he's going to tuck in behind the console. The console is up a position, so Grandad Steve there, terrible start, drops 2 positions off the start. What's that guitar dude doing? He's up into P6 at the moment. Lion's Foot, Bobby Dazzler. Bobby Dazzler's picked up a position. He looks like he's going to pick up another position now. So Bobby Dazzler looking up the inside of Lion's Foot. He's going to try and go up the inside here on the entry to the stadium. Can he get the move done? No, he has to back out of it in the end. Not quite close enough. So Demobi leading the race. He's got Smithy very close behind him now. Not much to separate these guys here on the opening lap here for our sprint race. Just 0.2 of a second as they come round now. And in the background there you can see Lecky losing these guys a little bit, not quite able to go with him at this stage in the race. Let's hope he can get those tyres warmed up. Track temperature absolutely frozen out here. You can see that 47 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it's going to take quite a little while for these guys to get these tyres tuned in properly so they can actually go racing at full pelt. But at the moment Demobi here with a solid first lap. He's got a healthy gap here to Smithy as he comes around the last corner to complete lap 1. Lecky does seem to be reeling in Smithy a little bit now. Maybe Smithy's had a moment there in the last sector. Console 4th. Then we've got Grandad Steve, that guitar dude, Lion's Foot, Bobby Dazzler. And is Bobby Dazzler going to look to the inside of Lion's Foot? No, maybe not, but these guys looking very, very close. In the background there you can see Tuggy Bear losing these guys a little bit. So we've got Demobi into turn 2. Hard on the brakes these guys are going to be, but it looks like he's got a good gap here to Smithy at the moment. These guys pretty much line astern here as they come through this S section just after turn 1 as they complete the first sector. And as we can see here, these guys are going to be reaching probably the top speeds of the whole track here along this stretch. And it's a heavy braking zone into the hairpin. It's a little bit easier with these front wheel drive cars, but definitely nothing to be sniffed at. And as we can see here, so Demobi seems to have it pretty good at the moment, and as I said before, Demobi is going to be looking to make up for Sunday evening with the drama that happened on the final lap where his wheel became disconnected. And looks like in the background we got something going on here. Is that Kenbo here up the inside of Bobby Dazzler? Can he make the move here? Our American driver's going to go for a move, and looks like he's going to do it, although Bobby Dazzler's going to hard the inside there. He might hold it around the outside, and it looks like he does. Kembo maybe with a slowdown penalty. It looked like he backed out of it there. Bobby Dazzler very, very late on the brakes, and he's gone wide, and Kembo could get the position here. They're going to go side by side through the S's here, and it looks like it might be Kembo on the outside. Oh, looks like he's got the outside, but can Bobby Dazzler come back at him here? It looks like he does. Bobby Dazzler straight back up the inside there. Fantastic racing between these guys, keeping it clean, keeping it tidy, and that's what we want to see here at RubbingsRacing. Brilliant from those guys. Looks like Bobby Dazzler holding on to position for now, but can Kembo fight back? We'll have to wait and see to find out the answer to that one. What's going on here in the battle for the final podium spot? It looks like Lecky's chasing down the leaders actually, so this is a battle for technically the lead here. We've got about 5 cars, a 5-car train here, all going for it. Demobi here, the leader of that train. It looks like Smithy's dropped back a little bit. Can Lecky get the jump here on Smithy? He's looking very, very close as he looks to the outside. Smithy going very defensive very early into turn 2. Lecky's going to go for the exit. He gets a beautiful exit. He's going to pull alongside him now. These guys maybe go side by side. No, not quite, but Lecky looking very feisty here down this long straight towards the hairpin. It looks like Demobi's gone off into the distance a little bit now. He's got a cushion of over 1.2 seconds. Smithy's going to go defensive very early. He goes to the inside. Lecky pulls off to the left. Can he go around the outside of the hairpin? You'd have to be a hell of a driver to pull off that move, and we know Lecky is a talented guy, but my goodness, it looks like he's going to go for the undercut here. Smithy goes very wide, locks up, and he's going to have to pull back into the slipstream because that's not the way he's going to get that done. But Smithy here defending for everything for P2. It's looking very, very close. Lecky trying to get around him, but he just can't find a way past at this stage in the race. And in the meantime, it looks like the console is going to give him a chance to close in on these guys now whilst they battle it out, but not able to make an impression by the looks of it just at the minute. Grandad Stee here sticking to the back of Alex as well, and in the background there, that guitar dude maybe looking at this as a possibility to close in. But having said that, last time round he was a second slower than these guys. The top 5 guys absolutely running off into the distance here. These guys lapping a second a lap faster than the rest of the pack. And I've just got on my timing board that Kembo has got a penalty for something. Not sure what that is, but he must have picked up a penalty for cutting the track, or maybe a collision. We don't know. We'll have to find out after the race for the answer to that one. Over the line to complete lap 3. The Moby leads just under a second. Is his gap here to Smithy. Smithy not letting him get away though. He's still sticking to the task. Last time around, the Moby 2/10 faster. Let's see who's quickest that last time around. It was actually the console who went fastest on lap 3. He was a 1/10 of a second quicker than our race leader, the Moby. So Alex getting those tyres nicely warmed up, and Ollie Marseille will be absolutely delighted to see that, because he makes no secret of the fact that he's rooting for our man from Norwich here. And it looks like Alex is getting those tyres nicely warmed up here and getting it into the groove where he can challenge for the race victory here in this sprint race. But having said that, it's going to be an uphill task. He's got 3 people in his way before we can even consider taking the race win here this evening. And is Lecky going to go for a dive? My goodness, look at that! Oh my goodness! And in the end, he gets undercut there from Smithy onto the grass, and they just about hold it together there. But Lecky, very adventurous, very ambitious move there. And in the end, it has not worked out at all, but fair play to him for going for it and trying to give us the action there. My goodness, Lecky. Unlucky with that one, but he's got it going again, so I'm sure he will live to fight another day in this instance. Grandad Stee's dropped back enormously. He's dropped 2 seconds off of these guys, so I'm not sure what happened with him, but on that last lap there, Grandad Stee a second slower than these leaders. We know he's capable of matching these guys, but it looks like Takatadu will be eyeing him up here. He's closing that gap, and Grandad Stee, oh, very, very wide off the curb and onto the gravel even, and that Kitadu will have seen that gravel flying up there, and that will give him extra incentive and added motivation to close in here. Ollie Marr says yes, already in contention for a podium. Ollie's in second place. Smithy's made a mistake. The console's up into P2. Smithy's had it off somewhere on that lap, so it looks like the console gains 2 positions in 1 lap. Fantastic driving from Alex. Ollie's going to be absolutely jumping up and down in that boarding school room of his, because I tell you what, his man is absolutely flying at the moment, and it looks like he's going to have to defend here coming into turn 2, because Smithy's going to have a look, but Alex slams the door, and rightly so. They're pretty clean there from these guys. Very, very good racing. Ollie, what do you think of this? You've got your man up in P2, but he's facing a little bit of pressure here from Smithy as they come down this long straight, and Smithy's going to have the advantage of some slipstream. Is he going to look to the inside, or is Alex going to go defensive? Looks like Alex is leaving the door. No, he's going to, well, it looks like a sort of a half-hearted move to the inside, but he does leave the door open. In the end, it looks like the gap just about enough to hold on to the position. Heavy on the brakes into the hairpin, but in the meantime, while Alex has to worry about defending from Smithy, this is going to allow the Moby to pull out the gap just a little bit here. And Ollie Marr says, tell him to push a bit harder. Alex, you've got your instructions there. Your team principals come on the radio and told us what to do. Whether or not he's going to listen to the advice of Ollie is yet to be seen. In the meantime, we've got Grandad Steve going backwards here. He's falling back into the clutches of that guitar dude, driving the mild 7 Renault livery. Very, very famous. Made famous actually by Fernando Alonso winning the Formula 1 World Championship a couple of times in quite a while ago now. But anyway, it looks like that guitar dude is pressuring him, and definitely closed in a lot of that last lap. In fact, that guitar dude was actually 7 seconds faster than Grandad Stee. I'm pretty sure that was not a representative lap time there from Grandad Stee, and he is at the moment losing the pace that he had at the start of the race. Lots of guys have got penalties, but we'll keep an eye on that as the race progresses, because it does seem to be quite a few people with issues in this race so far. But we're riding back with our race leader here to Moby. He's currently got a 3-second gap, and he is building that up. 0.7 of a second faster that last time around was our German. And looks like the Console and Smithy can't go with him. And in the background there, we can see the Console and Smithy going to go wheel to wheel. Smithy's going to look to the outside here, but Alex is going defensive. And he's going to have the inside, should be able to run him out of road there. Although Smithy's sticking to the task, right over the curb. And they're going to go side by side again. Almost made contact there, just about held it together, the two of these guys. As they come down this long straight, and it looks like Alex is going to go defensive very, very early. Cuts him off a little bit. Smithy back into the slipstream here. It looks like he's going to have the pace of the slipstream, but can he go up the inside and make for a move? In the background here, Lecky has actually caught up to these guys after his little excursion on the hairpin. He's made it back up to them, and this battle for second place is absolutely wide open. In the meantime, Demobi's absolutely shot off at the front. But this battle for P2 well and truly on. The Console, Smithy, Lecky absolutely going at it here. And can Smithy go for a move here, going into this long flat out right hand? And no, it looks like that would be too much of a risk at this stage in the race. Although having said that though, getting past halfway now, and a little bit of a lock up there from Smithy just to add to pressure there to what is already probably quite a warm tyres at the moment. Having said that, the track temperature is still absolutely frozen, so it's going to be very, very difficult for these guys. Looks like the Console's still going very, very defensive, but Smithy looked like he was a little bit in front on the outside, and there is contact, banging wheels a little bit, and that will have traded a little bit of paint there. But it looks like the Console for now at least holding on to the position. Lecky is going to be looking at this and thinking what he has to do to distract these guys even more and get up into P2. But these guys all the time losing time to Demobi. He's absolutely running off into the distance at this stage in the race. These guys really nothing to separate them, but don't seem to be making the on-track manoeuvres at the moment. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of trading positions. Having said that though, it looks like Lecky's going to have a look up the inside. Thought better of it though in the end. What's going back further in the pack? It looks like that Qatardi's got past Grandad Steve. So Grandad Steve's wars continue. He's definitely losing time going backwards in this race. He must have damage or something, because I can't imagine that Steve, with the talent he's got in these touring cars, would be dropping back that much without damage. Ollie Marseille says stop battling to catch the leader up. Well, to be honest, Ollie, I think that he's more concentrating on his back. It looks like Smithy's going to look to the inside here with a hairpin. Can he go up the inside? They're going to go side by side, and it looks like he's going to push him out. Smithy is up into P2, but Alex is going to get a better exit there, having taken a wide line through the hairpin. This guy's going to stay side by side, and this next corner's flat out. It looks like Alex has got the position done again. Lecky's going to get involved in this now. Lecky having a look up the inside of Smithy, but Smithy slams the door on him. Lecky's going to try and fight back. Lock up there from the Console, feeling the pressure of these two guys. You can see them in his mirrors. He knows what's at stake here. Second place is on the line here. We are here for RubbingsRacing's Touring Car Championship sprint race. Fantastic driving between these guys. If you're just joining us, Demobi has been the class of the field so far in this one. But these guys, the Console, Smithy and Lecky, going at it here for the runner-up position, and Lecky will sense the podium here. He had a little bit of a problem earlier on in the race, had a lock-up going into the hairpin, went on the grass, but looks like he's got it back together again, and he will definitely fancy a top three. A bit of a lock-up there from Lecky, but he's holding it together at the moment as we come through the final corner to complete what is lap 7 here. We've got 3 laps to go here at the Hockenheim ring for our sprint race here for the RRTCC, and it's very, very close between these guys. Second, third and fourth, the Console, Smithy, Lecky. And what's going on in the background? Looks like Grandad Steve's pulled on back onto the back of that Qatardu. Very close here, over the line to complete lap 7. He had a look up the inside, but thought better of it. That Qatardu not taking the bait, not feeling the pressure. That Grandad Steve trying to induce some kind of error. Oh, as I say that Qatardu goes very, very wide there out of turn 1. He will get a slowdown penalty for that. And that Grandad Steve looks to the inside, but that Qatardu slams the door. A little bit of a lock up there from that Qatardu. It looks like Grandad Steve's absolutely piling on the pressure here. And what's going on at the front? We're just going to keep an eye on this again. Lecky's dropped off these two guys now. Smithy's going to maybe not close enough this time around. We're going to stay with this battle here for that Qatardu and Grandad Steve. It looks like Grandad Steve still hassling the back here of that Qatardu. Maybe he didn't get a slowdown penalty for that. Let's check out the penalties actually and see what's going on. Let's see what the state of play is currently in this race. So Smithy, Lecky, 1 second penalty. Grandad Steve, 5 seconds. So that's going to drop him way back at the end of the race. Bobby has the 3 seconds. So Smithy and Lecky, we've got to keep an eye on that one. The Console needs to stay within a second of these guys. He's currently in front of them on the track, which means he hasn't got too much to worry about. But just bear in mind that Smithy and Lecky with penalties, but both with the same penalty. So they are technically fighting each other for position. And as we can see here, Smithy having a little look up the inside of that Console, but thought better of that one. That was a risky move to make, and he, in the end, thought that wasn't worth the stress of trying to go for that one, and ended up not working, especially when you consider he's got a penalty. The console has not got a penalty, so the console will by default stay in front of these guys even if they overtake him, unless they manage to pull a second on him. But anyway, we're coming around to complete lap 8 now. Demobi is on the penultimate lap and absolutely running away with this one. He really has driven superbly, hasn't put a single foot wrong so far in this race, and definitely atoning for the nightmare of Sunday. Ollie Marseille says go the console. It looks like your man's going to finish in second here, Ollie, and barring any kind of major catastrophe, although Smithy's going to go for a move on the inside. He goes for the dive. Fantastic. Brave on the brakes there from Smithy. Is he going to try and run Alex out of road here, coming out of this long left-hander? They're going to go flat out here down this long straight up towards the hairpin, and it looks like Smithy's got it at the moment, but Alex, if he can pull alongside, will be able to go for a move into the hairpin. It looks like they are going to go side by side. Lecky's dropped off. Lecky's chances of a podium seem to be dissipating here for our sprint race here for the RRTCC here at Hockenheim, and the console is going to go for a move up the inside. He goes for the dive, but he's overshot the hairpin a little bit, and Smithy's going to get a better exit. Smithy's going to take the position here. He should do anyway, unless, no, it looks like Alex does hold it on the runoff, but he does get a slow down penalty. We expected that, and he does allow Smithy to retake the position once again. All the console has to do is stay within a second of Smithy, and he will pick up P2 at the end of this race. He doesn't have to overtake him. I'm sure he'll want to. Alex, a racer through and through, will want that position on the track. Does he need it? No. Does he want it? Most likely. We've got a lap and a half here to go, and in the meantime this has allowed Lecky to pull right back onto these guys once again, and we know that if he can get past Smithy, he will be on the podium in this one, both with 1 second penalties. He's going to be absolutely hassling the back of Alex, and he has a look up the inside, but he thinks better of that. Alex goes very, very wide onto the asphalt grass, almost onto the gravel, just about keeps it on the track, and Smithy with a lock up there. These guys know what's at stake. There's a lot of pressure on them as Demobi about to start the final lap of this race. He's coming around the last corner now, and oh, Lecky spins out. I think he's lost the car just about. No. Oh my goodness, what a save there from Lecky. Unbelievable. Truly hats off to him for keeping that together. But these guys, they know what's on the line here, and Smithy is trying to defend for everything he can from the console. The console, all he needs to do is stick on his bumper, and he will take second place with the penalty there for Smithy. As long as he doesn't pick up a penalty on this last lap, he should get it. And Lecky here seems to drop off these guys. Maybe an issue there with the tyres. We've seen a few lockups and a few near misses, so those tyres are going to be going off a little bit more than the other guys at the moment. And having said that, everyone's rear right tyre looks absolutely frozen in this race. This track not very demanding on that particular part of the car, and you're seeing it here with the telemetry. In the meantime, Grandad Stee has got past that Qatardo. We saw that battle was heating up a little while ago, and he has picked up that position, so it looks like Grandad Stee on for a top 5 here. Bobby Dazzler, underwhelming performance so far in this race. We know he's got talent and potential, but he's not just showing it in this race at the moment. Meanwhile, race leader Demobi coming into the final sector of this sprint race here for the RRTCC here at the Hockenheim ring. He's driven absolutely perfectly, driving in his home race here. Our German driver, our Bavarian, one of the stewards on the RubbingsRacing's Discord, actually head of the Hot Lap Challenge here on our Discord as well. Be sure to check that out and do your lap in the Hot Lap Challenge. It's on one of the subsections on our Discord. Be sure to check that out. So Demobi is coming into the final stadium section now. He's got just 2 corners to go. He's got an 8-second lead over the rest of the pack. He's driven a flawless sprint race in this one here this evening, and he's going to come over the line and take the race victory here for our sprint race for round 2 of the RRTCC. The console looks like he's going to win this little battle here for second place. Smithy in the end, and the console's picked up a penalty on the last lap. The console with a penalty. It's going to drop him down to 3rd place. Oh, disaster for Alex. And Smithy ends up in 2nd. The console drops down to 3rd. Ollie Marseille will be absolutely gutted seeing that. Lecky finishes in 4th. Then we got that guitar dude who mugs Grandad Stee on the line. Oh, brilliant racing between these guys. That guitar dude just about nabs a top 5 off of Grandad Stee. Bobby Dazzler over the line in 7th. Then we got Lionsfoot just coming into the last couple of turns now. He's going to finish in 8th. Our Welsh driver from Swansea, Marshall on the Discord. Tuggy Bear, our other Marshall, is going to come round in 9th. Kenbo, what a disaster for our American moderator. He's not sure what's going on there, but very, very out of sorts, and I'm sure he'll be looking to pick that up in our feature race. Guys, we're going to take a little moment here. We're going to wait for the classifications to pop up on the screen and get confirmation of the race results here tonight. But that was excellent driving there. With the battle between second, third and fourth, phenomenal. It was a joy to watch, really exciting. Great that we could have got that. Great that we got the footage on the channel for you guys to see all of that. So fastest lap of the race goes to Lecky, and Demoby, Smithy and the console are our podium finishes for the sprint race. Obviously Demoby with pole position will take the extra point. Lecky will get the point for fastest lap. Guys, we'll catch you very, very shortly for our feature race. We'll be about 10 minutes or so. I think we're going to do a practice session and qualifying, so join us for qualifying in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll see you very soon. And be sure to sub, like, bell button and donate. www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. And we are back. Welcome back everybody for qualifying for our feature race here this evening. This is the RRTCC. My name is Andy. We're back here. We've got a quick 10-minute qualifying session to precede our feature race. We do an extra additional qualifying session here for the Touring Car Championship rather than the reverse grid that you see in our other leagues. It's just a different way of doing things, but it's a good way of always making sure that the fastest guys are at the front. So obviously we'll be expecting a similar order to what we saw in the last one. Obviously Demoby taking the race win, absolutely ran off into the distance in that one, ended up winning by over 8 seconds, but the battle for second was absolutely fantastic. We saw the console, Smithy and Lecky going at it for pretty much most of the race there. The console obviously picking up a penalty on the last lap. I thought he was the only one of those trio to not have a penalty, but it turned out he picked one up right at the end, which dropped him down. So that was unfortunate. Oliver Marseille was very, very upset to see that. But this is a new dawn, this is a feature race, and we're riding with Bobby Dazzler at the moment, who we had an underwhelming sprint race. We expected a lot of good things from him. He had an excellent season last season in touring cars. Whenever he was there, he was always very quick. Actually, one of the guys really taking the fight to Luke Bennett in Luke's championship winning campaign last season, and definitely expecting more in this feature race here at Hockenheim. We're riding on board with him as he comes out of the stadium onto the curves a little bit, not taking too much, pretty tidy, and into the last corner now, and a lot of drifting. That back end is really trying to get away from him, I'm noticing. I'm not sure if he's got a new wheel or something, but definitely didn't see that much from Bobby Dazzler last season. Over the line here, let's see what this lap time is, and I think that was an invalid one. It looks like the time was invalidated, so we're going to move to Smithy and see what he's up to. It looks like he's done the fastest time of the session so far, 1:47.5. Demoby 2/10 shy of him in second place, and sure that Smithy will be wanting to take the fight to Demoby in this one. We saw in the last one Demoby really did get away from them, and Smithy admittedly was a little bit compromised for the fact that he actually was having to defend from the console and from Lecky. So it might be a chance for him to make up for the sprint race and really give Demoby a good old fight in this one. But he's coming into the hairpin now, and he looks very tidy through there, nice and clean, not too much, not too wide on the exit, keeping it within the track limits. That's what we want to see. And now he comes up towards the stadium, and not really taking too much of a wide entry onto that one, and he's very, very tidy on the exit as well, keeping it within the white lines, not really extending the track too much. And this is very, very tidy. Little bit of a wobble there on the exit, not too much. So got a sideways, but it was didn't cost him any time. And I think this is a decent lap here from Smithy. He's going to come into the final sector now. Let's see what the split times are saying. I don't know if we're too late with those, but a little bit of a sideways coming into the stadium, but not too much of an issue here. And now he's going to try and avoid these curbs on the inside, because if you go too much on those in the artificial grass, then your lap is over, that's it, and your next one will be invalidated as well. Demoby, fastest lap of the session so far, 1:47.2. He's got 3/10 over Smithy. Smithy out of the last corner now, currently P2. Is this going to be enough for provisional pole position for Smithy? Over the line, and it's an improvement, but it's not enough pole position at the moment. Demoby sits atop of the classification here for our feature race qualifying session here at Hockenheim for round 2 of the RRTCC here this evening. Looks like the console was done a lap, but it's 1.5 seconds off the pace. That will not be enough for pole position here this evening. Is anybody else out there on a lap at the moment? It looks like Lecky's out there. No, Lecky's in the pits. Kembo's out there. Grandad Steve's out there. Tuggy Bear, Bobby Dazzler, Lionsfoot, all out on the track. Let's see if any of these guys can stake a claim to this pole position. Currently being held by Demobi. Smithy on a good first sector here as he comes down towards the hairpin. Let's see if he can nail this one. Where's Demobi out on the track? Demobi is coming into the middle sector now, into the stadium section. He's going to be heavy on the brakes there, and he's very, very wide through there. That's not going to be an improvement on his current personal best provisional pole lap time. What's the console doing? Right behind him on the track. Let's see if this is a good one for Alex. Currently P3 at the moment, 1.5 seconds off of pole position as it stands. Taking a it looks like best lap delta 1 minute 22 seconds off his best. I don't think this is going to be pole for Alex on this occasion. Let's have a look and see what's going on with Demobi. I think he's coming into the latter stage of this lap now. Yes, he is. He's got 2 corners to go, and not taking too much curb, but it looks like he did make a mistake there in the middle sector earlier in this lap. So let's see what this is going to be. Probably not an improvement, but you never know. If he's nailed the rest of the lap, it very well could be. Demobi over the line to complete his lap. What's this going to be? It's no, as I expected, it's not good enough to improve his lap time, but he is currently provisional pole position, so there's not too much to worry about in this instance. Oh, as he gets very sideways onto the artificial grass there. And Alex will be starting another lap now. It looks like Smithy. Where's Smithy? Over the line now. And oh, it's so close at the top. 0.04 of a second separates Demobi and Smithy, but Smithy not able to put it on pole position at the moment. He's going to have a couple of laps left in this session to try and put himself up into pole position. Currently on the front row, Kembo has put himself in the second row. He's put himself up to third. Our American driver from Pennsylvania has done an excellent effort there, and he's put himself up in with a chance in this qualifying session, but he's still a little bit off the pace, just over a second off of pole at the moment. Who's that in the foreground? That looks like it might be Lionsfoot. No, it's not Lionsfoot. It must be, is that Tuggy? Yes, it is Tuggy. What's Tuggy going to do coming into the final sector now? We can see Ken in the background there, gets very, very wide on the curb, just about holds it together. Our American driver there, good job. I think Tuggy's lap time is going to be invalid, because I saw him go over the artificial grass and take a little bit of the actual grass there, and yep, he has abandoned on that one. So let's see what Kembo's going to do in this final sector here, if his lap is still valid. Into the final couple of turns now. Kembo 76 out of the last turn onto the pit straight. What's it going to be for Kembo? Is it going to be pole position? It's not an improvement this time around. He's going to get one more chance to have a go for the fastest time here in qualifying, but at the minute it's Demobi here who leads the way. He's coming into the final couple of turns now. Let's see if he can go even faster than he has already. He'll get one more attempt after this one to go for an improvement on his current pole time. Here comes Demobi, our Bavarian from Germany. He's going to come over the line now to complete his lap. Is it going to be even faster than he's already got? It's not. The console in the background is going to come over the line. Is he going to go make an improvement? He does make an improvement. He goes P3. Alex onto the second row, puts himself above Kembo, pushes Kembo down a place. What's going to happen here with Smithy? He's going to come over the line now, and it's going to be, it's not an improvement. He's still 2/10 off of his personal best. Smithy's going to get one more go at it. Alex is going to get one more go at it. Ken's going to get another go. Bobby Dazzler's going to get another go. Bobby Dazzler's coming into the final couple of turns now. What's he going to do? He's a little bit of curve there on the second to last corner. Round the final turn, gets a little bit loose. Keeps it within the track limits. Throws it into the last corner. He's not going to get another go after this. This is going to be his last lap for Bobby Dazzler. Coming over the line now to complete his lap, and it's not enough to put himself in the mix. Bobby Dazzler, P6 at the moment. Who's furthest up on the track? We're going to try and work out who's going to be first over the line here. I think it's going to be Kembo, first of the contenders to cross the line. It is indeed. Here is Kembo, our American driver from Pennsylvania, currently P4 in qualifying for this session. Was third in the RRTCC last season. Had a chance of winning the championship until the final race. We have not seen this type of form in this round 2 so far. We saw in the sprint race he had an absolute mare, finished in last to be classified, but he's going to come through the last corner now, throws it in, a little bit of curve on the exit. Kembo 76, what's it going to be? It's an improvement, but he's not enough. He's 0.02 of a second shy of the console's time. Demobi pits. Demobi has abandoned his lap time. Let's see what the console is going to do. Is the console going to make an improvement? Smithy is going to come over the line a little bit before him, I think. Is he? No. The console is going to be the next over the line. Here he comes. P3 currently 1.2 seconds off the pace. A little bit of a slide there coming into the second to last corner. He's going to throw it into the last corner now. No curb on the entry. It looks like the console over the line now. Is it going to be enough? Is Ollie Marr going to be jumping up and down? He's not, because Alex stays third. It's a massive improvement on his previous lap time, but it's not enough for pole position. Smithy going to get a bit of slipstream here from Tuggy Bear. What's it going to be for Smithy? It's not enough. Track limits at the end of that lap put paid to Smithy's chances of taking pole. Where is that guitar dude? That guitar dude has abandoned his lap time. Lecky, where's Lecky at the moment? It looks like Lecky is all done for the session. It says that he's still out on a lap, but I don't think he's going to get another one. So Lecky is going to start in P6. Grandad Stee in P7. Where's Bobby Dazzler? Bobby Dazzler pits. Lionsfoot's over the line now, and Lionsfoot improves enormously. We just saw on the lap delta. Didn't see what position he ended up in. It looks like he's moved up to 7th right at the end of the session there, gaining a couple of places. Fantastic lap at the end of the session there from Lionsfoot. So it's like you were at the start of the sprint race. We got Demoby starting on pole position for this one. Smithy is going to line up alongside him on the front row. Then we've got the Console and Kembo on row 2. That guitar dude Lecky in 5th and 6th. Lionsfoot, Grandad Stee, Bobby Dazzler will be lining up at the back. Seems like we've had someone drop out of this race, maybe. I'm just trying to look down the order and figure it out. No, it looks like Tuggy Bear didn't do a qualifying lap in the end, but he will start in 10th position. So this is going to be a hell of a race. We're going to go trackside and look at these guys head on here at the start of this race. So Demoby again picking up where he left off in the sprint race, taking pole position, not very convincingly this time though. 0.04 of a second was the gap between Demoby and Smithy. Not that much when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. This is going to be a 12 lap race with a mandatory stop. It's going to be all to play for in this feature race. I'm sure Smithy will be looking to get his nose back in front of Demoby here after that sprint race where Demoby absolutely ran off with it. But Smithy is going to be careful to make sure he doesn't face any pressure from behind, because when he has the pressure from behind, it slows him down. It inhibits his ability to close in on the leader. So we'll see how this one plays out. We've got the Console and Kembo. Kembo much better in this one, the feature race qualifying. Lines up in 4th. We saw an absolute nightmare for him in the sprint race. Not sure what happened there. I'm sure we'll be able to speak to him after this round and find out what on earth happened there, but he lined up 4th in this one anyway. I'm sure he'll be wanting to bounce back. We have got that guitar dude in 5th, Lecky in 6th position, finished the race in 4th in the last one. We know he always goes better in the race than he does in qualifying, so I wouldn't read too much into that P6 there. Lionsfoot P7 pulled it out of the bag right at the end there to go from 9th to 7th, and we got Grandad Stee in 8th place, Bobby Dazzler and Tuggy Bear at the back of the field. We're almost ready for lights out here for our feature race. Thank you everybody for joining us live on the YouTube channel, and be sure to like, sub and hit that bell button on our YouTube channel. Be sure to donate at www.rubbingsracing.co.uk and register as a driver. Join our leagues, join the fun. All of our races broadcast on our YouTube channel. It's a hell of a lot of stuff to get involved with. We're about to go racing here for our feature race, and we are underway. It looks like a good start from pole position there from Demoby. Smithy immediately going across to defend there from Alex, but it looks like we're a line of stern here, 3 in the line here as we come into turn 1. Looks like we got Kembo up the inside here, lost the position, lost the start. That guitar dude, what a start! Up into P4 straight away. The Kembo's dropping back. It looks like we got Grandad Stee up a position there. Looks like Lecky made up a position as well. Kembo, terrible start, loses 2 positions straight away. Lecky is up into P5, and look, Kembo's got to be sure he doesn't get overtaken here by Grandad Stee or Bobby Dazzler either. But it looks like Demoby leading the race at the moment. He's got the Console breathing down his neck. The Console's up into P2. He's got past Smithy here. These guys are going to go side by side here down this long run down towards the hairpin, but it looks like the Console's got the move here. Is Smithy going to attack him behind, or is he going to go for a move? Looks like he's going to go for a move. Smithy with a dive. He's going to go for it, and the Console's going to leave the door wide open. Thinks better of defending from that one. Looks like we got that guitar dude here. Lecky is up the inside of Kembo, but Kembo looks like he's got the move on the exit of the hairpin. So Kembo gets the position back that he lost off the line. Is he going to try on the outside here? Looks like he is. Kembo with a great move there on the outside of Lecky, but Lecky's going to go back at him. Lecky's back on the inside, and Lecky goes across the grass there. He will get a slowdown penalty for that, and Lecky's going to have to move out of the way of these guys as they come through. It looks like Kembo and Grandad Stee and also Lionsfoot are going to try and pick up the pieces here. This is fantastic racing here on the opening lap for our feature race here. Oh my goodness, look at this. It looks like we got Grandad Stee's come out on top in all of that. It looks like Lecky just about holding on there. Lionsfoot's also got in the way, and Kembo, what an absolute disaster on this open lap. He's dropped back 5 places so far, and looks like Bobby Dazzler's going to have a go up the inside, but it looks like maybe Ken's got just enough to hold on at the moment. He's going to keep it there on the outside, and it looks like he's holding him off at the moment, but this has been gone from bad to worse this season for Kembo so far in the RRTCC. Let's hope he can get that sorted out. We know he's got the pace. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. But Demobi leading the race at the end of the first lap. Smithy has got back past the console here while we were looking at that battle in the mid-pack there. It looks like the console is still there though, so he's not letting him get away with this one. Look, that Qatar dude in the background there running all by himself in no man's land really, but the console absolutely hassling the back here of Smithy on lap 2 here for our feature race. Very, very close, nothing to really separate them at the moment. Moby is threatening to do what he did in the sprint race and absolutely run off with this one. He's got a gap of almost a second here to Smithy, but Smithy has got the slipstream and he's not letting him run away at the moment. In the background there, Lecky has seemed to have shaken off this pack behind him. Bobby Dazzler has picked his way up into P6 here, coming into the hairpin. He's at the inside of Kembo. Kembo leaving the door open, and Bobby Dazzler a little bit wide on the exit, but there was not enough room there for Kembo to squeeze up the inside, so Bobby Dazzler holds on to position for now. Grandad Stee in the meantime having to take evasive action there to avoid Lions Foot. But very, very close racing. These guys line astern down the straight towards this right-hander in the stadium section, and it looks like at the moment Bobby Dazzler is going to pull away from this pack. Lecky all by himself, that Qataru all by himself, and Demobi, Smithy and the console are leaders at the moment. 1, 2 and 3. Smithy and the console not letting Demobi run away with this one. They saw what happened in the first race. They know if they battle too much and fight each other, then Demobi's going to absolutely take off. They don't want that to happen. They're going to try and be tactical about this and keep in his slipstream and stay with our German here, absolute master of the touring cars. Won our sprint race at Alton Park last week and has won a sprint race already this evening. Took the pole position for our sprint as well and pole position for the feature race. It could be a clean sweep here for Demobi if he takes the win in our feature race. Smithy is not going to want to let that happen. The console has already picked up a penalty so far. He's got a, well, let's have a look and see what he's picked up here. It looks like it's a 3-second penalty for Alex. Disastrous start here. He's running with the fast guys at the front, but it looks like he's already in the wars. Ollie Marr's not going to be happy with that one bit, but it looks like Smithy here is not letting Demobi go at all. These guys clean record as far as the penalties are concerned. 7/10 of a second separate them as they come down towards the hairpin. Not much at all between them. Demobi, fantastic job so far in this round. Really has done a fantastic job so far in this season. I believe he's right up there, if not leading the championship, and he's had a perfect round so far. If he wasn't leading the championship before this round, he will be now. So, but Ollie there says that Smithy is fast. Come on. Well, yeah, I'm not writing Smithy off at all in this one. He's right there and ready to capitalise, and I think he's going to push Demobi all the way in this one. You can see here he's not giving this one up. A little bit of a lock up there from Smithy, but he's keeping it together, keeping it on the island, and can't wait to see how this unfolds. Demobi and Smithy are going to go at it, and Alex, to be fair, sticking to the task in the background, keeping up with these guys. He's definitely not letting them run away with this. In the background there, we can see that guitar dude is being caught up by Lecky now. Lecky all over the rearview mirrors of that guitar dude as we come into the second part of the stadium, and definitely under pressure here. What's going on? Just saw a lot. He's still sticking to the task, still right on the bumper here of Demobi, and he's not going to let him run away at all here as we come into the final 2 corners of the lap, and these guys are going absolutely hammer and tongs here at the end of lap 3. The console sticking on these guys as well. This is not over. This is going to be a 3-car race for the race win. I'm pretty sure of that. In fact, you know what? Lecky in the background here seems to be on a mission, seems to be trying to get past that guitar dude. If he can get into some clean air, or if that guitar dude picks up the pace, then we could be seeing a lot more guys in contention for the race win here this evening for our feature race for the RRTCC. Thank you to everyone on YouTube. Be sure to hit the sub, like and bell button. Donate at www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. Register as a driver, join our leagues, become a part of the action. It looks like Lecky's got round that guitar dude here, and he's made the move. He's up into P4. Good move there through the S's, and but can that guitar dude fight back here as they come down this long straight? There's a lot of room for slipstream, for slingshot manoeuvres here, and he looks like he's going to move to the outside. Lecky goes defensive very, very early on, and can Guitar go for a move around the outside or undercut Lecky if Lecky overshoots the hairpin? Looks like Lecky very tidy on the hairpin, and does have the position sorted at the moment. So Lecky up in position to P4, and now it's a question of if he can hunt down these leaders or make some ground in the pit stops. But that Guitar is not going to let him run away with this at all, and he's letting him know he's there still, having a little look into the next corner, but Lecky with a slight look up, but it looks like he's pretty much done with that manoeuvre for now. Bobby Dazzler closing in on these guys as well. That Nakatadu is going to have to have his look out, because his mirrors are going to be full of that Bobby Dazzler pretty soon if it carries on the way he is. That Bobby Dazzler 1.3 seconds quicker than Nakatadu that last time around. He's closing the gap. Meanwhile at the front, gap is 7/10. Demobi in the lead, but Smithy not letting him run away. There's just, in the terms of lap times, Demobi, Smithy and the console matching each other spot on. All did 46.7s or 46.8s last time around. Let's see what the lap time's like this time. Over the line to complete lap 4, Demobi, Smithy, the console again. All of their lap times separated by 1/10 of a second. Nothing to separate these top 3 guys. This is going to be a race long battle. All of these guys absolute masters of the touring car trade here in RubbingsRacing PS4. And the console looks like he's going to go to the inside of Smithy. Smithy must have had a penalty there. He's left the door wide open and basically signalled to the console to make his way through. Not sure what Smithy picked up the penalty for. Maybe he went wide onto the curb on the exit of turn 1, but the console's up in position, and this could potentially allow the same situation that we had in the sprint race. Demobi has got a 2-second lead here at the front of the pack, so maybe could be on for another walkover unless these guys get their act together as soon as possible. Is Smithy going to go for a move up the inside of the hairpin? Yes, he is! Brilliant late braking there from Smithy. Saw the opportunity and went for it, and on the exit there he seems to have got away from the console here, so Smithy there making the most of the door being a little bit open there. And in the background we're just having a look to see what Lecky and Nakatadu are doing for now, but Bobby Dazzler ever closing on Nakatadu. The battle for P5 is going to be well and truly on very soon, because quicker than Nakatadu the last time around. So it's all to play for here in this feature race here, RubbingsRacing's Touring Car Championship. Demobi stretching out his lead once again like we saw in the feature race. He's definitely on it in this one. The console with the penalty, so Smithy will be wanting to clear the console as soon as possible if he wants a chance of winning this race. The console very, very wide there, and Smithy's going to pick up the places. Looks like the console must have had a slowdown warning from the race director there, because he waved Smithy through. Smithy's up for position, and gap 3 seconds between Demobi and Smithy, so Smithy's going to have to get his act together if he wants to win this race. But we know he's capable, we know he's got the pace, but having said that, a 3-second cushion to Demobi in the touring cars is a hell of a mission to fight back. In the meantime, it looks like Lecky's coming for his mandatory stop, as is Kembo. These guys coming in. Obviously in the feature race there is a mandatory pit stop in the RRTCC, so we'll be seeing when these guys are going to make those pit stops. It's all about tactics here, and whether or not the weather's going to change, or whether there's going to be an extra element thrown into it, we just don't know. But at this stage it looks like we are set for a dry race here for our feature race, and Demobi absolutely excelling in these very simple conditions here. We're currently on lap 6. He's coming into the hairpin now. He's got a 3.2 second lead over Smithy. Smithy will look to reel him in, but he's got the console for company. He's not going to let him get away with this second place. The console, obviously with the penalty here, it's not going to be easy for him to get up in position, but we never know. You can never write off Alex. He's a fighter, and he'll always be pushing for that extra position, or that extra 1/10 of a second. In the meantime, we're having a look back here at the battle for P4. It looks like that Nakatadu is being homed in now by Bobby Dazzler. Bobby Dazzler only slightly faster the last time around. 2/10 of a second separated them. Maybe Bobby Dazzler with a mistake there, but he's been consistently reeling him in these last few laps. And Bobby Dazzler really with a hell of a drive in the after the first lap, where it didn't really go to plan, but he's definitely made up for it, and he's actually maintaining his gap to the leaders as well. So Bobby Dazzler, solid drive, and if he can clear Nakatadu pretty soon, he might be within a chance of catching up to Smithy in the console. It's not beyond the realms of possibilities. Kenneth Smith says he crashed out. Pit crew sent me back out with damage. Well, that's a health and safety risk there, Ken. That's absolutely ridiculous. You should be suing your team for that one. That is an outrage, and I honestly feel sorry for you for that, being in that situation. It looks like we've got a couple more guys in the pits. Our 2 leaders here, Demobi and Smithy, into the pits. This is going to release the console into some clean air now, which is what he really needed with that penalty. The console, this is his opportunity to put the hammer down, maybe make some inroads, potentially get himself track position ahead of these guys. And if he can do that and pull out the gap, the console could be on for the win here in this feature race for RubbingsRacing's Touring Car Championship. We know the console, bit of a specialist in feature races, the extra few laps and the mandatory pit stop really do seem to benefit our man from Norwich, our RubbingsRacing moderator, head of the RubbingsRacing Discord. As he comes into the hairpin now, he's going to be absolutely on it, trying to get every single second or tenth of a second that he can. Absolutely gutted for Kembo there, crashing out of the race. He's not had the best of starts to this touring car campaign. We saw him, obviously, as mentioned earlier, finish third in last season's standings, but this season it has not gone to plan at all. And obviously with the shorter seasons this season, we're running 6-week seasons here at RubbingsRacing, it does mean that there's going to be a lot less wriggle room or room for error, should I say, in terms of you're not going to get as much time to fight back if you drop down the order. So it's not looking good for our American driver at this stage. We're going to stay with the console here. A little bit of a lock-up coming into the final section of the lap, but he does seem to be going pretty quickly. He's on the limit. You can actually see he's trying to wring the neck out of that car, gain every single tenth of a second he can as he throws the car into the final turn. A little bit of curb, nice exit there, just about kept it within the track limits over the line. Let's see what lap time he's doing. It's a 47.1. That's rapid, considering that those tyres are a few laps old now. The console absolutely flying. And where is he in relation to his rivals for the race victory here? It looks like Demobi has got a bit of a gap here on Smithy. Smithy with an absolute mare of a pit stop by the looks of it. He's lost 6 seconds to our man from Germany in the pit stop phases, so it looks like the battle for the victory here is between Demobi and the console. Can the console get it nailed down here? He's got a 20-second gap to Demobi. A pit stop round here, I think, is a little bit more than 20 seconds. The console's going to have to keep it pushing if he wants to win this race. He's got a 3-second penalty at this stage, but it looks like Demobi in the box seat, our current championship leader in the RubbingsRacing Touring Car Championship, looks set to extend that advantage in our feature race. He's had an absolutely perfect round here at Hockenheim in his home race. He is a German driver, remember. He's got his home fans here at the Hockenheim ring, and it seems to be spurring him on that little bit extra. He's got currently 19 seconds to the console, which means that once the console comes in, he should emerge in the lead, but he knows that the console has got a penalty, so that should benefit him no end by the time the checkered flag waves. But at the moment, lap 8 of 12 here at Hockenheim, and it looks like the Demobi at the moment seems to be the favourite for the win. Let's see what the console's up to, see if he can get these lap times pumped in and put himself in with a chance of winning this race. But it's looking unlikely at this stage, I must say. Demobi really has got that thing dialed in, and let's see what back through the pack, see what is going on between these guys. It looks like Lecky has dropped back off a little bit. He's found himself 2 seconds behind Bobby Dazzler, so let's see if Lecky can get catch up to Bobby Dazzler and give him a run here for what is 5th position currently in this feature race. The console race leader is into the pits, so let's see where he comes out in relation now to Demobi. He's the man who is fighting for the win. In the meantime, that Guitardo takes the race lead, but the net race lead belongs to our man from Germany, Demobi, who's coming out of the final turn now. Where is the console? The console's out of the box. Demobi's coming down the pit straight. It looks like Demobi's going to get him though. The console here has not exited the pits yet, and Demobi is already around turn 1. So it looks like Demobi with the race lead, with the race win in his grasp. It looks like he's got a gap here of about 3 seconds here to the console, but with the console's 3-second penalty, it looks like Demobi favourite for this race win. That Guitardo currently leading the race. He's got 12 seconds on Demobi. When he comes out of the pits, he should come out around Bobby Dazzler. It's going to be very, very close once he emerges, and they're going to battle it out for 4th place. Our podium looks set to be Demobi, the console, and Smithy, but you never know what's going to happen in the closing laps here of our feature race. At the moment, that Guitardo leads the race. Demobi, the console, Smithy, Bobby Dazzler, Lecky in 6th. He's closing in on the back of Bobby Dazzler now. Let's see what's going on with these guys here as they come down this long straight down towards the hairpin, and it looks like he might have the benefit of slipstream just about here. It's going to be a close run thing as they come hard on the brakes into the hairpin. Looks like Lecky absolutely flying, going a lot quicker than Bobby, and Bobby's gone very, very wide in the hairpin. Knocks a couple of cones out for good measure there, but Lecky's going to have a go at him coming down this straight, coming down towards the stadium. And does he have enough of the slipstream effect to go for a move here? Looks like Bobby's got just about enough distance here to be safe from a move from Lecky. You never know though, but Lecky's not the type to go for a dive bomb unless he's absolutely certain that he can get the move done. A little bit of a lock up there from Lecky. Bobby Dazzler is going to have his mirrors absolutely full here of the RubbingsRacing's Touring Car Championship coordinator, and he has a little look up the inside, but not going to distract Bobby Dazzler, I don't think, with that manoeuvre. They're going to come into the second part of the stadium now, and it looks like Lecky has another look up the inside, trying to distract him, trying to do everything he can to put him off, but Bobby Dazzler's not having any of it, and holds firm, holds his position and holds his nerve. And Bobby Dazzler at the moment with the position, but Lecky on the warpath here as we come through the final couple of turns now. Not much to separate them at all, but at the moment it looks like Bobby Dazzler holding on. What's going on at the front? It looks like Demobi here's got a lead of about 2.5 seconds over the console, but all he has to do is bring it home. Demobi, he knows the console with the 3-second penalty. All he has to do is just stay where he is at the moment, and he will take the race win in our feature race. Smithy driving all by himself here in 4th place. What is a net 3rd once that Katadu comes in for his stop. And Lecky's got past Bobby Dazzler. He's up into a net 4th place here. It looks like he's done it. And Bobby Dazzler with the spin. Coming onto the straight. He almost lost the car there. Fantastic save there from Bobby Dazzler. Just about held it together. But it looks like Lecky has done enough to get a top 5 here in our feature race. Good driving there from Lecky. It looks like Bobby Dazzler flashed the lights there. Not sure what that's all about. But Lecky up a position and should have 5th place here, barring any kind of major incidents at the end of this race. What's that Katadu doing? He looks like he's got an 11-second gap here to 2nd place to Moby. But that Katadu obviously does have to make his mandatory pit stop. I will remind all the viewers live on YouTube that that Katadu does still need to come in. So this is not representative of the actual classification, because he does need to come in for his mandatory stop. Once that happens, we should have a pecking order of Demobi, the console, Smithy and Lecky. Here he comes, that Katadu bringing it in, end of lap 10, and we've got 2 laps to go here in our feature race until the checkered flag. It looks like Demobi's going to come out the last corner now and inherit the race lead, which he's held for most of this race and for most of this event really. He's been out in front. Here he comes now. He's got a 2-second lead to the console, or maybe a little bit more than 2 seconds now as they come over the line to complete lap 10. Here he comes, penultimate lap, race leader, our German driver, championship leader Demobi, has driven fantastically all of this event here at the Hockenheim ring for round 2 of the RRTCC. The console in the background not able to go with him at this stage in the race. It looks like Smithy could be in with a fantastic chance of taking P2 at the last stage of this race. If he can keep it going and stay within 3 seconds of the console, then P2 will be his. Smithy knows that. You can see a bit of a lock up there. He's feeling the pressure, but the console will be having his mirrors absolutely full, and the gap is under 3 seconds. So as it stands, Smithy will take the 2nd place here in this feature race for the RRTCC round 2 at Hockenheim. Demobi's picked up a 2-second penalty. Not that that will matter one bit, as long as he can keep it going, keep it as it is. Demobi will take the race win for our feature race. Lecky here, it's got a train of cars behind him. Bobby Dazzler and that Katadu absolutely homing in on him. Bobby Dazzler there trying to distract Lecky in the mirrors there. Lecky having none of it, and that Katadu going very wide through the hairpin. He knows he can get 4th place here. If he can really push it on this last lap and a half, he might be within a chance. It looks like Lecky might be a step beyond him, but Bobby Dazzler is in his sights, and that Katadu knows. Our feature race winner from last week, not actually Spanish, he is actually British, but here he comes, and he's very, very close to the back of Bobby Dazzler now. Not much at all separating these guys, with just over a lap to go here in our feature race. Lecky looks set for 4th place, but back with our race leader. What's Demobi doing? Looks like he's just taking it easy out front. He knows he's got this in the bag unless something terrible happens in this last lap, but it looks like he's got it, and 3.3 seconds is his gap to the console with the 3-second penalty. And it looks like Smithy is going to take P2 onto this last lap now. He's staying within 3 seconds of the console. The console has got to pull an absolutely mighty final lap out of the bag if he wants to keep P2. It looks like he's got the podium though within his grasp, as long as he keeps calm and keeps collected. What is going on with that Katadu? Looks like he's just over a second behind Bobby Dazzler. Bobby Dazzler pulling the gap. It looks like we are in our finishing positions here. Lecky, Bobby Dazzler and that Katadu 4th, 5th and 6th, and maybe we're all set for that one. Although having said that, got some penalties here. Let's just check out and see what's going on this timing board. So it looks like Lecky with a 1-second penalty, Bobby Dazzler with a 1-second penalty, and then that Katadu with a 2-second penalty. So even if that Katadu is able to clear these guys and move up into P4 or 5, he will have a penalty. So it looks like we're pretty much as it is for this feature race. and it looks like Smithy here just about within 3 seconds of the console here for P2. So as long as he keeps that gap as it is, the Smithy should finish in P2 for our feature race. What is our race leader? He is just coming into the final sector now. Demobi, driven perfectly in this RubbingsRacing Touring Car Championship Round 2 event here at Hockenheim. He took pole position for our sprint race by 0.4 of a second, dominated it, class of the field. He took the sprint race by almost 10 seconds, absolutely ran off into the distance. He took pole position for the feature race by 0.04 of a second. Smithy gave him a real good go, but in the end couldn't take it off of him. It's a clean sweep for Demobi as he comes out of the last corner. Our German driver, championship leader in the RRTCC, takes the win here for our feature race at Hockenheim. The console takes P2 on the track, but it will be P3 with his penalty. Smithy P2, the console P3. Lecky is going to come out of the last corner now to take 4th place after a good fight there with Bobby Dazzler and that guitar dude. Lecky comes out on top in that one. Bobby Dazzler and that guitar dude 5th and 6th. That guitar dude bins it over the line. We're bitterly disappointed with that penalty, which put paid to his chances of really fighting those guys for that position. Lion's Foot here, P7, coming into the last couple of turns now. He's got a few seconds here on Tuggy, but it looks like he's got this one in the bag here. Scotty, our Welsh driver from Swansea, our RubbingsRacing Marshal, is going to bring it home, and hats off to him for keeping it going in this one. We've got Tuggy Bear coming over the line, or coming around the last turn here in 8th, and Grandad Stee, what an absolute mare for Grandad Stee. Got damage, must have had damage or something in this one. He's going to come round in P9. Our man from Newcastle is going to complete the classification here this evening. Fantastic job from Demobi. He took 2 pole positions, 2 race victories here this evening. Perfect event as far as he's concerned. Smithy 2nd in our feature race, really gave it a good go and showed that he had the pace in our qualifying session. Was just 0.04 off of Demobi, couldn't take the win in the feature. The console completes the podium. Lecky, Bobby Dazzler, that guitar dude, Lion's Foot in 7th, Tuggy Bear, Grandad Stee and Kembo completes the classification, although he won't be classified due to a retirement. Very unlucky there for Ken. Thank you all of you guys for joining us live on the stream. Ollie Marr says, well done everybody. That was a fantastic night of racing. We will catch you guys on Thursday for Thursday Night Lights. Be sure to join us next week for the touring cars. It's good night from me. It's good night from all the guys. We will see you again on Thursday, and peace.